So you're thinking about running, but not sure how to take the first step. My name is Brian Patterson, and I'm here to help. Welcome to Brian's Run Pod. Well, welcome back to Brian's Run Pod. And first of all, I'm recording this on New Year's Day 2025. So just want to say and wish you all a very happy new year, and you're getting over that festive break. And I hope you all had a great time. So to wherever you are in the world, and we do get listened to all over the world. I just want to say Happy New Year, and I hope I can continue to provide you with some great content for 2025. Now, in today's episode, we are going to be looking at a very topical subject, and that's artificial intelligence, because I know it's very much part of what we do in our day-to-day lives, and also it is very much part of what we do in exercise as well, and in running is no stranger to it. So, what we're going to be looking over the show notes, so we're going to be looking at is what is AI, what is machine learning, some of the applications that are being used for that incorporate AI, maybe some of the drawbacks of AI, how maybe a human element is maybe better than AI, and then I'll kind of give you maybe what's the future hold for AI and running. So maybe going over a few of the same things as well. Anyway, so what is AI? Well, the basis of artificial intelligence is a concept called machine learning. Now, machine learning is the process from which a computer is able to learn new information independently. That is, without being explicitly programmed or given that information. It uses something called a neural network, an artificial replica of mechanisms in which the human brain learns to analyze large amounts of data and derive a summary of the information based on patterns it has detected. So how does this, you may be asking, how does this affect running? Well, what types of AI could be used in running? Well, natural language processing, image recognition, and predictive analysis. So hopefully I'll kind of go into and explain what those mean. So there are a number of ways that computers can use machine learning, but the most popular are natural language processing. So then there's image recognition and predictive analysis. So natural language processing is the type of AI that is capable of producing text based on its programming, plus information it finds on the internet and from a human input. It uses machine learning to learn how humans communicate and will adapt its responses to give answers that meet specific criteria. Computers can identify and analyze the visual information using image recognition as well. Now, there are AI tools out there which many of you may be familiar with. So there's ChatGPT, and then there's DALL-E. Now, one of the most popular tools is a natural language model called ChatGPT, and there's the image creator, which is called DALL-E. Now, AI in terms of in current applications, I have like an example here, which is really fascinating example. AI is very much going into this sci-fi idea to something runners are actually using. So let's jump into this the AI coach thing. There's this guy called Renato, and I will leave a link in the show notes to this article. He wrote an article on Medium about how he built his own AI coach. It's an amazing story because it shows how he can, using expert knowledge, is available to anyone. His story is something that all of us can relate to. He wanted to personalize his coaching, but he couldn't afford it. So he even used a tool called Train A Zone, which is an adaptive training platform. Basically, it uses an algorithm to adjust your training based on what you are doing. He still felt something was missing, so he goes ahead and creates his own AI coach called the 80/20 Ultra Coach. As I said, I'll include a link in the show notes. It's designed to give runners advice on everything, training plans, what to eat, race strategy, and so on. Plus, he made it totally free. Now, no AI can replace a human coach. So, for starters, you don't have the human relationship for someone encouraging you while you are training. However, AI in this case is great for giving you data-driven feedback consistently. Now, for some people have asked a general AI tool to create a plan for them. Sometimes it can be a bit hit and miss. One guy did this and found that it spat out a plan for a 50K race when he wanted one for 5K race. Maybe he got confused with the lack of zero. So it's important to search for an AI tool that is built for running. So maybe give this 80/20 Ultra Coach a try. I know I will in the new year. It can also be used for running form analysis. Now, there are other uses in this space, but AI can be used to help analyze our running form. And there's this application called Ochi. Again, I'll put a link to it in the show notes, which analyzes your running form. Now, it says on their website, transform your running with our advanced AI and biomechanics algorithm. Simply record a video with your smartphone for a full body analysis. Receive personal exercises to enhance your technique, efficiency, and performance, developed by former high-level athletes. Ochi provides insights into your strengths and weaknesses and help you prevent injuries and improve your running form, all without any extra equipment. Now, the running form analysis, the app uses advanced AI and biomechanics algorithms to analyze the video on the running, providing a full body analysis. Then it gives you personalized exercise plans based on the analysis, and the app provides the tailored exercise plans to adjust weaknesses and enhance strengths in your biomechanics. And these exercises aim to improve running efficiency, build strength, and prevent injuries. Continuous improvement. Well, the app provides regular updates and progress tracking, offering new exercises that adapt to your improving form, ensuring sustained development. Expertise. Ochi was developed by former high-level athletes, including a physical therapist with biomechanics lab experience, ensuring the app is both practical and based on scientific research. Convenience. Runners can conveniently record a video using their own smartphones for analysis. They can also share their progress analysis with coaches or peers. Accessibility. The app does not require extra equipment. It also is available in both iOS and Android. Now, I think how it works is that you point your phone or maybe get someone else to record your run. So you could either put it on a stand and hit the video record button. And I think maybe you do this through the app. I'll have to find out a little bit more about this. But like sort of other apps that do sort of image recognition and analysis, I'm assuming that this would be the same way. Then it uses a set of, as I said, advanced AI and algorithms to look at your running technique and give a guidance on how this can be improved. Now, the thing I worry about with this is that maybe you're trying to shoehorn technique into something that is very natural to you. So even when I had the running analysis at Move Physio some time ago, and I think I did do a podcast about it, and if you go back into our archive, maybe what I'll do is I'll give you a link in the show notes to it. I had Aaron, who was the physio / personal trainer, doing basically a video of how I was running. And then he was sort of giving me feedback about how maybe I was overstriding, and I was really more of a heel to toe strike rather than sort of midfoot strike. And that is something that you have to try to, it's going to take time. It's not going to be over a week, you suddenly get this perfect technique. But I think what it does is that it will give you exercises to help strengthen your body so you can adapt to your a better running technique. And I think you have to just think of it as like very much a process of improving your running technique. And then I think maybe you take a video at one stage and then at another stage, maybe in 2 months later on, maybe 8 weeks later, you do another video and then you see what the feedback's like. And then it will probably give you a few pointers, whether you're improving or not improving, but hopefully you will be improving because you're doing the exercises as well. It may be worth, doing this in conjunction with a coach, and they can help as well. I must admit, as I said, I haven't tried it. However, running is very much an individual thing, as I said. It's not like we're training for the Olympics or being a professional athlete. Most of us are just doing park run or doing a 5K or just trying to get on, get the treadmill in the gym, including the warm up. We just want to get fitter and enjoy our running. So getting stressed about it, if our forefoot is not landing well or our head position isn't in the right place, might not be the right way to go. So it's just a tool to help you with your running. In saying that I did say it does recommend exercises that can help with your running form. As I said before on this podcast, it's not just about the running, but also about doing strength work and exercises specific to running as well. On the top of my head, I can think of 2 Olympic athletes who had very odd running techniques. Paula Radcliffe, the GB Great Britain marathon runner, who was also very successful in the 10K, with her head moving, you've a very distinctive running style. And then there was Emil Zatopek, who was one of the most successful 10,000 meter and marathon runners in Olympic history, who won a total of 5 Olympic golds from 1948 to 1952. Now, performance analysts' insights. How does AI help with performance insights? Well, Strava's new athlete intelligence tool uses artificial intelligence to help runners understand and improve their performance. And so here how it works. It does an analysis of workout data. AI analyzes the complex workout data to provide personalized insights. This helps runners understand their recent running performance. The tool analyzes data for the past 30 days. Identification of patterns. The athlete intelligence identifies patterns and peaks in individual training to give a clear picture of progress. And this helps runners see how they are progressing towards their goals. Specific metrics. The tool provides insights on running pace, power, time spent in specific heart rate zones, relative effort, which is Strava's metric for gauging intensity. Personalized training tips. The tool offers tailored training tips to help runners improve their feedback, endurance and stamina, and speed and stamina. Motivational feedback. The athlete intelligence celebrates personal bests and other training milestones to keep the runners motivated. Accessibility. The feature is available to Strava subscribers through their smartwatches or mobile phones, and it is available in public beta mode in 14 languages. So what you can do, if you do use another app to record your running, then what you can do is you can use other apps which will upload it to Strava. So even if you aren't although I am a subscriber on Strava, but if you do regularly use, like I use Runkeeper to record my run, because Runkeeper's great at doing setting up interval sessions. Or alternatively, I use, because I use an Apple Watch, I can use the Apple Watch app on the watch, again, to record my run. And again, that's really good at doing interval sessions. And I can upload that to Strava, and it can give me feedback, AI feedback as to my runs. I will give you a link to my Strava in the show notes.
Let's take a quick break.
Hi, Brian and Brian's Run Board listeners. I'm Merrily, author of Just Run. Just Run is the perfect gift for every runner or anyone thinking about starting running in 2025. In my book, I share my journey from barely hitting 3,000 steps a day to becoming an ultra runner in just a few years. A few months ago, I completed my first 100-mile race. Just Run is packed with practical tips for beginner runners. Running is for everyone. You don't have to be fast to go far. You just need to run your own way. That's what Just Run is all about. You can grab your copy on Amazon, including on Kindle Unlimited, or get a signed copy from my website, merilyruns.co.uk. Feel free to reach out to me on my website or through my socials at merilyruns.
Hey, this is Andrea, popping up from Sydney, Australia to say hello and to thank Brian for creating a forum which is so beneficial for those of us who are seeking a richer experience of running. If you're like me, you probably run for a host of reasons. These might include time alone, mental health, personal accomplishments, or maybe reclaiming a sense of self, possibly for the first time in a long time. And you might have noticed that the narrative around running is also changing. Until recent years, you probably mostly heard it talked about through the lens of metrics, things like getting faster, getting stronger, getting thinner, getting better, getting a spot on the podium. But thanks to voices like Brian's, more and more we're starting to think about running as a means to becoming a better person, to enjoying the morning, to achieving a fundraising goal, or maybe just making yourself proud. And if that sounds like you and you're interested in getting some coaching support for whatever your running journey looks like, I invite you to take a look at Run with the Slow Coach. I host a global coaching community for older, slower, bigger, injured, and back-of-the-pack runners. I'm fully accredited through Athletics Australia. I'm endorsed by the Australian Trail and Ultra Runners Association. And in 2023, I won a local business award for the most outstanding fitness service. I coach online and I promise to keep you accountable because I know what it takes to start a running journey, especially if you're not talented or you haven't been active your whole life. And I believe that runners like us deserve all the science, all the rigor, all the empathy, and especially all the support to safely progress to whatever your finish line looks like. And I'm really here for that. So find out more by following me on socials at Run with the Slow Coach or visit runwiththeslowcoach.com. I really am passionate about the life-changing benefits of being active, and I'm grateful to Brian for everything he does in this space. And now, back to you. Thanks so much.
It's very easy to interpret the insights. The tool provides an in-depth but easy to interpret insights to effort and activity trends. Continuous improvement. Strava says that the tool will continue to evolve over time. So, and I think that's another key thing here is that although AI is very much kind of in its infancy in some ways, is for relying on historical data. And over time, though it may be in some ways maybe beta and it's kind of maybe hit and miss with either training plans or looking up and giving you encouragement on various runs that you've done. It may be a little bit hit and miss here and there, but over time, the idea of natural language processing or machine learning, as the name suggests, it will get better, and therefore it will help sort of become more honed in to what your needs are. So in summary, Strava's elite intelligence tool uses AI to provide runners with personalized, comprehensible insights based on their activity data. And this helps runners understand their progress, adjusting their training and stay motivated. And as I said, I'll share my running stats in the show notes. Now, what's the human element, sort of AI versus coaches? Well, there's a lack of best practices. Even the best AI-generated training plans may include suggestions that are not considered best practices and lacks evidence-based planning. The generic approach, AI may not always individualize plans based on the runner's specific needs, health, training history, and age as a human coach would. Then there's a limited understanding. AI may not fully grasp the nuances of the runner's situation or be able to ask follow-up questions to refine a training plan. For instance, a recent study showed that the quality of AI-generated training plans depended heavily on the detail of the input provided by the runner. If the runners lack knowledge or detail, the plan would be of lower quality. AI may not ask the clarifying questions like a human coach would, leading to less tailored plans. The inability to adjust to individual needs, a human coach considers many factors when creating a plan, including the runner's current fitness level, health, training history, age, the demands of the race, and how long there is to train. And as I've said, we talked to quite a few coaches on this podcast, and I know some of the coaches like that one-to-one relationship with their particular client, which means basically they're able to get a feel for what their needs are. Do they like running? I know it's an obvious question. Do they like running? What does running mean to them? How do they feel when they're going out running? What do they think about the last session? The times of day they like running. I know if I had my choice, I'd be going out running early in the morning because I have more energy at that time. So there's lots of questions that a coach would ask. AI may not account for all these factors or in a comprehensive way. No human element, AI cannot replicate the communication, trust, and support that a human coach provides. Human coaches offer personalized guidance, mental preparation, race plans, and ongoing accountability that AI cannot match. Plus, you're interacting with a human being. I know it's an obvious thing, but you're interacting with someone and they're able, and I feel that having someone else there with you where doing your running, I think is great. So I know sometimes running can be quite a lonely sport, although sometimes people might like that. Maybe you just put your headphones on, listen to music podcasts or an audio book, and then off you go. And then maybe the training plan you're doing may give you some feedback on what kind of sessions you should be doing. Like, for instance, I know for the Apple Watch sessions they can create, you can say, we'll go between this particular speed, either a 6 minute to kilometer to 5:30 kilometer for 400 meters, that kind of. But if you've got someone there with you and saying, I don't know, if like from one of the coaches, I think it was Andrew Wren, who said, yes, you go from this tree to the next tree, you do high repetition in terms of your have a relaxed relaxed mouth, you're doing a high turnover with your legs and from the next tree, whatever. So you've got someone there with you who's telling you all these different things. So I know in time maybe AI will kind of be able to do that, but then it's not someone there with you. Anyway, that's why I thought of it. So the limitations of current AI models. So a study uses a generic AI model, ChatGPT-3, to generate training plans, but found they were not optimal. But the more detailed the input, the better the resulting plan, as I've said before. However, even with a more detailed input, these plans may not be on a par with those of an experienced coach. So there's potential for poor advice. If a runner provides limited information to an AI program, the training plan generated could be poor, following the principle of garbage in, garbage out. So it's really important that the information, I suppose that's the same obviously with a coach as well, that you're providing them as much information so they can tailor a plan which is more that meets your needs. From a coach's point of view, if they're quite an experienced coach, they know with all their experience and they're going into their data bank, the experience they have, that they can give you a plan that's more suited to you. This is a problem because many novice runners may not know what information to include, and the AI is unlikely to ask those clarifying questions. In conclusion, while AI can serve as a foundation for training, it currently lacks the depth of comprehension and personalization approach of a human coach, especially when it comes to evidence-based planning. Consider the scenario of hiring a running coach. You're not just acquiring expertise, you're also, in my opinion, gaining the human interaction, as I said, and unfortunately, AI cannot replicate that. Moreover, I firmly believe that from a mental health and encouragement perspective, a human coach is the ideal solution. That's why people opt for personal trainers. I recall when I was a personal trainer, I genuinely felt that my clients did not want to let me down, and consequently, they pushed themselves to go the extra mile. So what's the future of AI in running? Now, we can agree that the cat is out of the box. There is no way we can put this back. As more and more data is uploaded to the web and that we become more sophisticated in utilizing that data, we can agree that there is no substitute for having a real human coach. So what does the future hold? Well, we can look at more personalized training plans. AI can analyze a runner's data, such as activity, health stats, and feedback to create customized training plans. This can help runners optimize their training, avoid injury, and achieve their goals. AI-powered tools like 80/20 Ultra Coach, Strava's Athlete Intelligence offer personalized recommendations and training tips. And the quality of these plans will depend on the level of detail provided by the runner, with more comprehensive input leading to better results. So these things have just come out in the past year. So I know Strava didn't have the athlete intelligence beginning of 2024. So this has just come on in the last few months. Biomechanical analysis. AI through computer vision can provide real-time analysis of runners and movements, and this can help identify areas of improvement, prevent injuries, enhance running efficiency. For instance, using Oddshi can help with advice on running technique. Real-time feedback. What about smart treadmills with cameras and sensors could give runners and coaches a comprehensive view of the athlete's movement. Psychological factors, strengths, areas for improvement. This real-time feedback could allow for adjustments to training plans and running form on the fly. Advanced data analysis. AI can analyze large amounts of workout data to identify patterns, peaks, trends that may not be obvious to the human, and this could help runners understand their progress, identify areas of weakness, and make more informed decisions about their training. Strava's Athlete Intelligence is an example of this, providing insights on pace, power, heart rate zones, and relative effort. And the more you upload, I know I had a look the other day and I was saying, well, has this looked at the run that I did in 2023, a long run that I did? And yes, it did. It actually gave me some feedback about that run, some AI data feedback on that particular run. Race strategy. This is probably more for more serious runners. AI can analyze data from past races to help runners develop a personalized race strategy. This may include pace recommendations, nutrition plans, and other advice to optimize performance for race day. Shoe design. Now, this would be brilliant. Now, AI can be used to design running shoes that are specifically tailored to runners' needs, such as comfort, support, and durability. However, as I said, there are limitations. Dependence on input. AI-generated training plans are heavily dependent on the quality of input provided by the runner. So you can't just say, just give me a 5K training plan. I know for some apps out there, I know for Runkeeper, they can give me a 5K training plan. But I think the more information you provide, like when you'd like to have, when you run, or when was the last time you did a 10K run or a 5K run, that kind of thing. The more and more information you provide, then the much more detailed and better the plan will become. Try not to be fooled into thinking that this will be the answer to your prayers into getting the PB. And I think we'll sort of maybe talk about this a little bit more in the summary. And I realise we're just scratching the surface now, and as I said, the modelling and algorithms will improve, the recommendations will get better. Now, in conclusion, without doubt, we're witnessing a watershed moment in technology. For instance, there was the internet, and then we had Web 1. I don't want to get too techy, but I thought I'd give you a little bit of a history lesson. So as I said, there was Web 1, which was very basic websites, static websites or landing pages. Then along came Web 2, and this meant connecting people, the rise, dare I say it, of social media. There was interaction on websites, the use of what's called a software language called JavaScript. So before there was what was called HTML, which was kind of the bones or the structure of the web page. Then you had what was called CSS, which basically has all the coloring to the web page. And then you had what's called JavaScript. And that basically, if you did press this button, it does this and that. Or sliders and that kind of thing. So you use JavaScript for that. But then you had sort of like backends. So you had access, you had mobile access, you had websites becoming more responsive to screen size and therefore becoming more dynamic, and e-commerce. So you're able to buy things like, Amazon website or other e-commerce websites, like buying your shopping online. Then we've got Web3, and this is about NFTs, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, which I don't really understand, VR, AI. And added to this, there was AI. So, that's part of Web3. So we as runners have always been looking for the edge and also for our next gadget. And we are no different than others in this space. So since the first time I bought an iPod Touch and used it to log my runs, I've been fascinated about running technology. How fast was I going? How far was I going? I remember when I used to live not very far from here, and I used to go out running. I used to map out the distance of where I was running using the odometer on my bike. So I'd go and let's say do a map out a 5K, and then the next day I'd run that 5K there and back, and I've now done 10K sort of thing. Whereas now you get the real-time data with satellites or telling you speed, calories, how far you're going, all that kind of thing. So AI tool is just a tool. AI is just a tool that can give us guidance. And at the end of the day, it can't do the running for you. And I think, as I said, if we're just looking to improve, enjoy our running more, make it more enjoyable, and now that you're given the data, this is right down our street. However, as I've discussed, this does not replace the human interaction a coach can give you. So I say it's a fantastic time for us as runners in terms of the technology and what we have on our wrist or what we have on our phones, in terms of utilizing that data and processing that data and maybe giving you some form of training plan or advice going forward. But let's not forget the human element, like say the coaches out there who are also recognizing as to what your particular needs are. So AI is great, and hopefully maybe I'll explain it to you in some way as to what it's all about. And I'm no expert, but this is my take on it. But at the same time, let's just use it as a tool. I certainly like using it, and it's great seeing there's all this information and all this feedback, especially like from the Strava Athlete Intelligence. But then again, if you can afford to get a coach who can give you some guidance, then great, go for it. Thanks very much to listening to the podcast, and looking forward to speaking to you very soon. And that's a wrap for another exhilarating episode of Brian's Run Pod. Thanks for tuning in, folks. As always, we've got you back with all things running, and next week, get ready for some more awesome beginner hints and tips to kickstart your running journey. Don't forget, you can now send me a message. Yep, you heard it right. Brian's Run Pod has now become interactive with the audience. If you look at the top of the episode description, tap on send us a text message. You can now tell me what you think of the episode, or alternatively, what you would like covered. If you're lucky, I might even read them out on the podcast. Hey, if you want to keep up with all the latest updates, behind the scenes fun, and even some exclusive content, make sure to follow me on social media. We've also launched a shiny new Facebook page. Just simply search for Brian's Run Pod and give us a like. And don't forget to hop over to Instagram, where you can catch all our visual adventures at Brian's Run Pod. For those of you who love diving deep into the episodes, head over to our website, www.briansronpod.co.uk, and there you'll find some detailed show notes and handy chapter markers, making it easy to navigate through your favourite discussions. Please leave a review, as it will help others find this podcast. Music is by Happy Day by Stock Audio, not forgetting artwork by Alice Patterson, and also thank you to my producer, Anna Patterson. So till next week, thanks again for listening.